Alrighty, well here we go with video number 3 of 4 of the sketchbook tour. Starting the second sketchbook. There are still some pages missing in this one, so this video should be shorter. In fact, this should be the shortest of the 4. And I said you could leave me comments and questions. I appreciate quite convincing saying these didn't look quite like sketches, but more like final planned art, and in a way that's true. They're sketches, or they're unplanned in that when I sit down to do a page or a spread, that I don't generally have an idea what I'm about to draw a lot of the time. And I do draw in pencil and then ink and then erase the pencil, so they are kind of more like drawings. I also want to say I appreciate all the other comments, and Gene Rasp, you are very kind, sir, and I appreciate your comments. Well, let's begin. For some reason, I gave this one a price of $275, whereas the other book cost $250,000. Can't really explain that. I'm not letting it go for $275, by the way. I don't know what I ought to do there. Don't know what possessed me. Okay, well, page 1. It's the Phantom Troublemaker. Phantom Troublemaker is actually a friend of mine who only in the last year or so, I'd say, started using his real name, Dave West, and he is a blogger and a podcaster, and has the Needless Things podcast, which is all sorts of pop culture and toys, wrestling, junk like that. Anyway, he's a super nice guy. And so I think my band was playing somewhere and he was the MC that night, and so I drew a picture of him. And there's his cool leopard skin luchador mask he used to wear a lot. Alright, well, this was kind of maybe a pitch to Mellow Mushroom for something to do for them. Nothing ever came of that, but we come in pieces. Pizza by the slice. More pizza. Alright, wait. Oh, look at this. I remember very well doing this one, and this is a possum playing a banjo. But he's kind of a rock and roll possum, huh? And the thing there is, we've used this in a lot of ads for my band Possum Kingdom Ramblers, which we describe as a nerdgrass outfit. I couldn't find our second album, but there's the first CD there. And I mean, it's got all of us in there. There's me playing my saw. So that's the first CD. And I drew the cover to that. The original art for that is about 16 by 20, black and white. So there you go. Kind of like that thing. Kind of got on a possum kick. I think actually possum is an Australian marsupial that looks different. What we call a possum here in the southern United States is actually, I think, correctly named the Virginia opossum. So in here, this was kind of a companion to the astronaut on a tire swing thing. And here we have 2 astronauts on the moon, and they're lying around as if in a pool. And there's a beach ball, which is floating, and I don't know what got into me. I don't see a baseball here. Doesn't make sense. But apparently I like this one enough to sign it. So that's kind of fun, I guess. No water, of course. Alrighty, this, I'm pretty sure I remember I started drawing something, erased it, drew something else, erased it, and wound up drawing this angry wave attacking a lighthouse, and that's just, I don't know. I don't care much for that. It's got something, but I don't know what. Alrighty, well, here's the thing. Slim Whitman, if you don't know, is an old, he's not around anymore, but he was a country singer known for his yodeling. And I always thought he was a really funny looking character, so I've done a lot of drawings of Slim, and so here's Slim and the Slim Bot, which is a robot he made, I guess, which resembles himself a little bit. Here's the thing, I ended up drawing a lot of them. For almost a year, I did a comic strip on Facebook called Slim Thursday, and it's about Slim and his cat who went off into space. Of course, he needed some help getting his rocket ready, Got some help from Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know who else shows up in this thing. It's all red and black except for this blue gorilla, which we will get to in a little bit. You may have seen pictures of me with my friend who is a singing blue gorilla, but that's what that's all about. It was put into a comic book by Mini Comics. It was actually a 2-in-1 comic, and the guy, Jer Alford, who runs Mini Comics, was nice enough to print me up about 25 of these that are just my story. So this was about a year, almost a year of me doing a weekly comic strip, which was, I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I did it. So there's that. All right, what we got next? Let's look here and see. Well, another Slim Whitman, and there's Slim singing one of his famous songs, I Remember You, and there he is turning into a werewolf, and so it's I Remember You, Aroo! So that's kind of crazy. I don't know, I kind of like it though. I mean, this fur and that hand, those came out pretty good. In fact, that's kind of crazy. I kind of like that drawing. Alrighty, this is one of my bandmates, Bambi Lynn, and she plays a mandolin sometimes. This is Swiss Picks, is a guitar pick that has like holes like cheese, and she is an endorsee for Swiss Picks because she's a guitar player. And so I've taken these things and we've used them in various flyers for shows and things. But there's Bambi as a possum. And there's also this guy in the band, Ricky, and there's Ricky also as a possum. And when we started out, there were 4 of us. One of our guys moved back home to Minnesota. The guy that played banjo and guitar with us, Tim, and so he's not with us anymore, but there's Tim as a possum, and there's Captain Lovehandles with his ukulele and his harmonica. So that's Tim and me, and we were singing what we call Nerdgrass, and Tim would sing the song Dooley, and it's kind of a moonshining song, so got the moonshine still in the background. Strangely enough, out of the 4 of us, for various reasons, none of us ever drink. So that's the name of that tune. All right, well, here is an astronaut gorilla in space with a gun, and he's shooting some tentacled monster. This was from Ricky from the band, and I collect certain ones of these Imaginext blind bag figures. And that was actually this guy here. And if you take off his astronaut suit, he's a gorilla. So that's kind of fun. So I liked him enough. I drew him in my book. And I also had this guy here who's kind of an alien with his staff here. I didn't like him as well. So anyway, on board the spaceship there's our gorilla and there's our alien. And this is that same staff right here. So there you go. No idea what to draw, so went and grabbed some toys off the shelf and started drawing them. How about that? Have you ever seen this before? This is going to be part of the Beyond Good and Evil 2 video game, and I guess I was getting into drawing apes, and so here are some bad monkeys, and this is Sock Monkey and Barrel Full of Monkeys, and the old wind-up cymbal monkey, and they are just mean and nasty. So there you go. I kind of, that's a pretty cool drawing. Here's our friend El Santo again, but this time playing a ukulele with Sharktopus in the background. One of the things I love about Hit Record is that we're forced to do our own creativity and not steal from other people's stuff. I got some good friends who are artists, and they're artists full-time. And a couple of those guys, what they do is basically rip off other people's property, And in my sketchbook, I'll do that because I'm working on techniques and I'm working on ideas. I'm trying more and more to get away from, I don't want to be one of those artists on Instagram that's all Ratfink and Ninja Turtles and things like that belong to other people. Because there's a ton of that out there. Just seems a little bit cheap. All right, Ricky and Bambi also do kids shows. Sometimes we do them all together and we wear our superhero costumes, but when they do, Kitty Kapow and Professor Whiskers. So there you go. They have a coloring book as well. I should have gotten it out so I could show it to you. I only contributed a thing or two to that. 3D goggles are neato. I think I was looking around the toy shelves for something to draw and saw the Viewmaster. So this makes no sense, but these 3D goggles are actually a Viewmaster, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it gives you a 3D effect when you chunk this little film strip thing. All right, El Santo and a possum. Love your possum. El Santo apparently loves his possum enough to take him to the fair and buy him some ice cream. This one's a little different because it doesn't have so much black background in it, but it's got some good detail. Look how sweet and happy that possum is. Isn't he the sweetest thing? Okay, this is Sleevestack Lightning, and I've done a bigger, nicer 12 by 12 drawing of Sleevestack Lightning that I put in my art shows. And of course, the Sleevestack is the monster from the creatures from the Land of the Lost, old Land of the Lost TV show. And there's an old blues song, Smokestack Lightning, so that's where I got that idea. And he's playing guitar. This is, of course, to look something like the famous Robert Johnson album cover. Robert Johnson, The Complete Recordings, and so this is Sleevestack Lightning, The Complete Recordings. Kind of crazy, but it's kind of cool. Alrighty. Well, if you didn't see this coming, there's a Sleevestack and Slim Whitman. Slim Stack Whitman. You know, I was doing that comic strip, and there's a fella who was following it, an old guy who was actually an old friend of Slim's, and he would message me and let me know that he kind of had mixed feelings about the whole thing. And so I didn't put Slim Whitman. I think at first I had pictures of Slim Whitman or whatever on this page. I was just starting it out. It's called Slim Thursday. And so later on I took every mention of Slim Whitman off of there and called the character Slim Thursday. And I don't know, that's kind of a cheap way of getting around it, because I was kind of halfway into it by then. I wanted to finish it. And he said he enjoyed it and liked the art, but I don't know. He's kind of a bumbling character, and so Slim's family may not be too proud of that. Well, here's something that took maybe a bit of time, because I have a bunch of characters in here, and I could go through and name them all, but you don't want me to do that. There's Zargatron from Big in Japan that you saw before. Captain Lovehandles, Kitty Kapow, Professor Whiskers. There's my friend Sarsaparilla the Singing Gorilla. I can name all. Well, there's your Phantom Troublemaker. Some of these are my toys: Outer Spaceman, Slim, Sleevestack, of course, Blue Demon, El Santo, Joey Ramone. And these guys, I urge you to go on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, you can rent it for 99 cents. The movie, The History of Future Folk. And this is, it was on Netflix and now it's not, but it is on Prime. And Future Folk is a folk duo from New York, and they made the movie, but before that they are a folk duo, and they're aliens from the planet Hondo. They got this whole story, and it's just a great fun movie, and the music is fantastic. They play kind of a bluegrass type of music, so I would say get that. But look at this, I got to be friends with them and illustrated their coloring book, which is cool. And some of these illustrations are just fantasy. Some are taken from lines in their songs. They have a song about space worms, and so there's Mighty Kevin. He's farming space worms. This is one of their songs, kind of inspired that as well. There are things to do, things to color. There's Mighty Kevin going back to Hondo with music. There's big spread right there. How do you like that? Got a dot to dot. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but you see what I got here. These were cool drawings. And when I do my art shows, I have a book that's half colored in now, because I'll put it out, and for the whole month that my show is at a gallery, I'll have it out where people can color in it and have some of the original art from the book, which is pretty cool. So anyway, History of Future Folk. Watch the movie. You'll love it. And there's a Space Cat too. I would say Possum Kingdom Rambler's most popular song is Space Cat. And there's a Space Cat. Here's my Space Cat toy. I bought this astronaut toy. It was a Neil Armstrong. And I went to Michael's and got one of these little PVC cats, cut the heads off, and made my own Space Cat toy. So that's kind of crazy as well. Alrighty. See how many I think we only got a couple more and we'll be through with this section. This is No Go the Clown. No Go the Clown was a clown that popped up on Instagram and made a few videos and stuff. And I just thought he was hilarious. And so he posted about 5 things a few years ago and disappeared. But he did make the sketchbook. And I thought I wanted to draw a balloon animal, so that was a good opportunity to do that, even though I don't think he ever used balloon animals in his thing. Here's the last one we'll see, and they're our friends Slim, Sleevestack, just bumped my lamp, and they are road tripping with Slim and Slee. Wednesdays on NBC, which is, of course, is just a fantasy, but I wanted to make it look like a TV show. So, there you go. There is Sketchbook Tour 3 of 4. Comments and questions if you want to. Thanks for watching.